Hello, this is Julianne and welcome to the Maker's Gotta Make Holiday Project Planner. We're excited to have you here. This is going to be, again, a guided holiday project planner. So if you have a lot of things that you want to make this holiday season, a lot of gifts that you want to make from the heart, this is going to help you make some sense of it and not feel overwhelmed and in chaos. Just before we dive into the tutorial for this, again, this is the digital version. We do have over here the paper version, so if you're interested, we do have a paper version of this planner, but again, this is the digital version. So when you open your planner, this is what you're going to see on the home page. This is our cover. I had a lot of fun making this cover, and if you hit the home tab, it'll always bring you back to this cover. And as you go through, you'll find that there's monthly tabs over here, and then we have some different tabs over here for you to keep sense of everything. So a little bit of copyright in the tutorial, and here we are with the plan. So if you click the plan button, this is also the screen that you are going to get to. We'll switch over, actually we'll switch over to this. So it gives you a full screen. Again, I like my laser pointer. We're going to keep on the laser pointer. First off, we have the plan here. So this goes over the different steps. There's 6 steps that you're going to want to take into account as you're going through your plan. And we're going to go through each of the 6 steps, but they're always here for a quick referral. And the reason this is important is when you're doing this step here, the timeline, it helps you to know what all the steps are so you don't forget a step. So over here, peeps. What are you making and who are you making it for? That is very, very important. If you don't know who you're making it for, it's going to be a disaster. So if we drop over here, you can, again, the beautiful thing of the iPad is you can make things bigger and smaller as needed. So you might be writing things like, I'm making a gift for mom, and then you write down all your ideas. So maybe it's a planter, and I apologize for my handwriting, it's always terrible. Maybe it's a planner. Maybe you're making her a custom planner, or you're making her what we always do. We like to make her a wall calendar that has all the family photos. So for me, that would be my winter idea calendar for my mom. So this is a chance for you to write down, just to brainstorm ideas. So you can kind of come up with different ideas here for all the people you have to make for. And again, you can always use the plus symbol and right up here, let me plus symbol up there in the top corner, and that so you can add more pages if you need it. So that's plan page 1. Now you're on to your next step. So you have supplies and shopping. So first of all, what supplies do you need? So once you know what you're going to be making when you have this finale list here, then you're going to come over here and you're going to decide what you are making, or what you need. So you might need paper. You might need some kind of binding if you're making a calendar. If you need photos, you need to collect a lot of photos. Maybe you need some washi, if this is going to be, I don't even know how to spell washi. And then you're going to do things like have and need. So I need to get the paper, maybe I need to get the binding, but I have the photos, and maybe I have all the washi. And then what you're going to do is from this side, from these things that you have in the need column, that's what you're going to write over here and put them into your shopping list. So I need to get paper, and maybe I need to get the binding. And then you're going to think about where you can find it. Is this a Michael's thing? Is this a Hobby Lobby? Michaels. Is it Michael's? Is it Hobby Lobby? Is it Joann's? Where are you going? And you can always use abbreviations. So, maybe Joe's, maybe Mike's, maybe Hobby Lobby. Again, use your own system. But then this is the important part here is, do you have coupons? Do you know when these things go on sale? So if it was a frame at Michael's, they're always on sale. So you want to look for that. Or if you have the 50% off coupon, all these guys obviously have coupons that you can use all the time. So make sure that you are getting the best deal. Handmade crafts sometimes are not always less expensive than store-bought, but you really want to make sure that's from the heart, and you want to make sure you get the best deal possible. And so what you'll see is on the next page, you have your budget page. So as you're doing things and as you're deciding what you're going to go shop for and you find a great deal, over here you can be writing, here's the paper, and I spent $4.99 because I had an awesome deal. 50% off coupon, whatever. Actually, right now, there's the deal right now. Let me get the smaller one. I think it's 70% off right now, so 70% off. Woohoo! And again, you can make these pages bigger so it's easier for you to write off. If you're finding that it's too tough, you can always use smaller fonts to get things to fit. So if you're not familiar with the iPad planner, it gives you a lot of flexibility, a lot of fun. This over here, again, is the most important piece. This is going to keep you from stressing. So you need to know how much time do you have to make your creations, how many weeks. So you're going to look at the point where you're starting to give out gifts. It may be Christmas Day, but it also might be you exchange gifts a week before, or you might exchange gifts a week after. So what is the real number? How many weeks do you have? And then you're going to work backwards from that. So you need to know that you have time, go back to this planning page, you have time to research your ideas and decide what you want to do, time to go through all your supplies and see what you need, time to go shop for them, and then time for making. And don't forget, wrapping, all important. So this timeline piece is really important. You kind of need to have an idea of some of this stuff, and then you need to have an idea of how long it's going to take you to make. So when I'm over here, I would do something like, okay, the calendar, I think it takes me maybe 2 weeks to make it. And then if I was making, say I was making a bunch of gifts, so I'll just say I'm making a handmade planner, and that takes me 2 weeks. And let's say I know that I have 10 weeks between now and Christmas. I'm going to look at all these and start adding them up, and maybe I have another project that takes me 2 weeks. Like, okay, that's 6 weeks right there. So for ideas and research and kind of putting everything together, maybe I only have a week for that. And shopping, maybe that only gives me a week for that. And then wrapping, which is important, I only maybe have a week for that. And that leaves me with a 1 week, that's a total of 9 weeks, and I have a 1 week cushion. Obviously, you're not going to do all your math like I am right now. I'm just showing you kind of how this all comes together. But then you're going to go work backwards from Christmas and say, okay, so in order to do my ideas, I have to start and finish them here. In order to do my shopping, I have to start and finish them here. In order to start working on this calendar, I have to start and finish here. And that's where these calendar pages come in. So when you come over, switch. I've given you all the months, so you may be starting this in August, you may be starting this in September, depending on where you are. So you have all the months, so you could plan all year long if you want to. So we're in September right now, and this gives you a sense of what you can put in here. Get back to my page. So you're going to be able to put in the different things that you want to start making. So over here, it could be, I'm making mom's gift here, and this is the week for that. And then maybe here, I know I'm out of town. So maybe I have to get really creative with how I'm going to make things. I have to pack things with and take them with me. So it gives you an idea of how you can put together your whole year for planning, and then also work with what you might have left, which might not be a whole lot of time to get all your gifts done, but this gives you a good chance to do it. Again, this is undated so that you can use this in 2020, or you can use it any year. I've given you the calendar for 2020. So right here you can see this is the 2020 calendar. So you at least have a chance to go through and kind of plan out your dates, and that's where I like to use the highlighting tool. So you might want to say, okay, well, here I am, and this is a week I'm going to plan, and this is the week I'm going to do this, and you can again change your colors. So you can say, okay, these are my making weeks, and maybe the orange is my researching weeks, and maybe I put in nice red color. Add to presets, and so maybe I want to do, here's the day that we all get together as a family, so maybe I want to highlight that day. So that just gives you an idea of how to use this calendar. Again, the highlight tool is great for that. You can also put over here important dates, so if there's times when you might be away, or maybe a big sale, or you maybe know of a big craft show where you're going to get a lot of ideas, you can be able to put those down here. So again, you can flip all around, again, just by using this tab. We'll take you through all the different dates. So that's that. And then you also have behind the tab a weekly to-do. So this gives you, get back to my highlighter, this gives you a chance to write all the different things you have to do for each week. So you can write in your own dates here. So maybe this is September 16th, and you're going to write down all the things you have to do this week for this project that you're working on. Again, I love the iPad because I can write in notes everywhere. So this is maybe mom's calendar. And these are all the things that I have to do for mom's calendar this week. And I can write that all down. So again, those are behind every planner page, every monthly page. There's this page. And this gives you a chance to, again, plan out. You can add as many of these pages as you need to. This gives you 2 weeks, but you can add another page to give you 4 weeks. Or you can erase, which is always a beautiful thing, and start over. But I like to see what my projects are and how I'm progressing. So that gives you a chance to do that. And then if you ever want to go back to the plan, again, just quick click, and you're back to the plan. And again, you flip through the plan to work on your timeline. So that's how those pages go together. We have a couple more pages in our plan. The next is the work it plan. So you have to make, right? That's the big thing. You're going to make like crazy. But in order to make it fun, that's why I've created this page, is really to have put some thought into it before you start planning and start stressing yourself out. How can you make this the most fun as possible? And here's just some suggestions, and I've given you room to write your own. But you may want to have a podcast that you listen to every time you make something, or you may have a holiday playlist. I tend to listen to TSO. If you're familiar with Trans-Siberian Orchestra, I'll put in my TSO playlist. You may have a scent, so maybe you want your fir tree scent going, or home for the holidays, or whatever you have for your favorite scents. Must-have items, so you might want to have your scissors close by. You might want to have tape close by, depends on your project, but you might want to have a couple things that you're not running around looking for later. Maybe a ruler, so you're not driving yourself nuts. Adult beverage, this could be hot chocolate or not, could be wine, whatever you want, but again, it makes it more fun. If you have your cup of tea, your favorite cup there that inspires you, it's just fun to have it, and you can be like, yep, I know what I'm going to do. The super maker outfit, this is where I was having a little bit of fun. So when you're crafting, what are the clothes that make you feel the most creative? So for me, it's always those comfy sweats, some fuzzy socks, a blanket. What are those things that really make you feel most creative? And then maker accessories. Maybe there's some other things that you want to have on hand. Maybe you want to have your planner. You may want to have this book right next to you, so that you can look at where you're going. You may want to have your Instagram feed on your phone going so you can get inspiration, maybe Pinterest, whatever else. And then any other ideas that you have. So you may want to have a fire going if you have the luxury of a gas or a wood burning stove. And other ideas that you might, maybe you want your dog right close by. I don't know. Maybe you want your dog far away because they eat all your props. That's a possibility. So that's what this page is all about. It's just making this fun. So as you're getting into your maker mood, and you may have, if I'm making photos, maybe I want to have a certain Instagram feed up for that. Or maybe I want a certain playlist that helps me think about memories. I don't know. You can kind of customize this for the project you're working on, or this could be just your general go-to list. And then wrap it. Don't forget, you're making, these beautiful handmade things. Don't lose sight of the packaging. And you also want to make sure you have time in your timeline, and you also want to make sure that you have your supplies. So if you need pretty baskets, if you need certain tissue paper, if you start to look at the colors, like here's some of the colors that we're working with, maybe I'd want my tissue paper to be matching so that it highlights my gift, or maybe I want a basket with some ribbon and the ribbon matches the gift, whatever. So that gives you a sense. So this is an important page for you to not lose your creation. You spent so much time making it, make it look beautiful when you're giving it. So that's all in the plan tab. And then again, the calendar tab is a place where you can just quickly take a look at the calendar, see what's going on. And then you have the notes tab, which again is just, I always like to put these sheets in there because you just never know what's going to come up. So this gives you a chance to use a dot grid and a chance to write notes, and you can always plus and insert as many of these pages as you want, and you can insert them throughout the planner so that you can pop these in anywhere. So if you need to research something, you can write that in here and just put it right into your plan so that it's right next to the things that you're working on. So you can come over to your plan page, and maybe you're here and you want to drop in a notes page right behind this. You can definitely do that and make your life easier so that your notes are all in one place. So that is a walkthrough of the digital planner. If you have any questions, always feel free to give me a shout out. You can find me here at lifeditanddesign.com anytime. And that is also the name, again, of our Instagram page. And it's also the name of our website. So it's all right there for you. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and we'll see you at the next one.